Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today we're learning Kesubos Daf Nun Hey, number 55. I want to discuss today what the Gemara asserts on Daf Nun Dalam and Beis on the bottom. The Gemara says we see from our Mishnah the fact that the Lashon of the Mishnah says he must have the Hosif if he wants to add on to the Ksuba, general Ksuba, even if you don't write how much you're giving her. For a Psula, she gets Masayim, 200 dinarim, and for her an Almana, she's been married previously, she gets 100 dinarim. If he wants to add on, right, like I mentioned in the regular share, he's a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. He's Mark Cuban, and he wants to give the Dallas Mavericks to his wife, worth around half of his fortune, like 2.7 billion. He wants to give the Dallas Mavericks to his wife. He doesn't have to convert Mark Cuban because he's Jewish. I mentioned the other share, Elon Musk is not Jewish. Mark Cuban is Jewish, I think. I'm not sure his mother is Jewish, but he is Jewish. And if he would do a Jewish marriage, you get married. I don't think that his wife is Jewish. But if he were, I don't know. I mean, if he were to marry someone who's Jewish, so a Jewish man, marries a Jewish woman, he gives over a large Tosefes because he wants to show that he loves his wife so much. I'm giving you so much money in the Ksuva. So that's the Gemara search. The fact that it's a Hosef in the Mishnah that tonight Ksuva is Ksuva. Don't think it's a separate matana. There's ksuva, and then I'm giving you another money as a separate payment. No, it's part of the ksuva. It's part of he's adding on to the mat. It's not a ksuva of masayim. It's a ksuva of 1 billion in masayim, right? So it has now ramifications, luckily, for 14 things. Now, how far do you extend tonight ksuva dami? So Rashi on Nundalam and Beis, he says tonight ksuva tosefes shumatana lahosifla v'chein mizonos v'chol hanach desnan v'pirkin delel. Not only Tosefes, but also the 6 things in the previous 2 Mishnayos in the previous parak, where we talked about that the husband tonight, it doesn't call it tonight ksuva, it calls it tonight bastin. Meaning, even if it doesn't write in the ksuva, there's 6 things. When you get married to a woman, you have to guarantee her. You have to guarantee her mizonos to feed her. You have to guarantee her to ransom her if she gets taken captive. You have to guarantee her a proper burial. You have to guarantee her ksuva's b'nin dichrin, that her sons will inherit her ksuva. You have to guarantee her that if she's a widow, she'll get fed from his estate until she collects her ksuba, and you have to guarantee her that his daughters, right, their daughters will get fed from his estate if he were to die. Those 6 things are called, if you look in the Mishnah, called Tanai Basin. So Rashi says Tanai Basin. The same thing as Tanai Ksuba, stipulations in the Ksuba. And therefore, all the 14 ramifications that the Gemara lists over here, the Tanai Ksuba is Ksuba Dami, would apply to those things also. Now, the problem with this is the first case, right? The first and second case, right? Nafka mina l'mocheres u'l'mocheles, right? Now, mocheles is actually not a problem because the Gemara says we had a Gemara Nun Gimel 53 where he said if she's mochel or ksuva, she's mochel also on the mizonos, right? She's mochel or ksuva to her husband. She waives also the rights to collect mizonos if the husband were to die and she collects mizonos from the estate. She waived that also. However, the Gemara's maskana is that she sells her ksuba. Even if she sells her ksuba to her husband, right? Zuzi Ansa, she's doing it for the financial benefit. She doesn't plan to give up the rights to get fed from his estate. And presumably she doesn't want to give up any of the rights of the Tanai Basin listed in the Mishnayos. So how could Rashi say over here, where the Gemara says that Tanai Ksuba is Ksuba, that when she sells her Ksuba, she also lost all the Tanai Ksuba? Tonight, based in those 6 things, the Gemara says explicitly on Nun Gimel, the halacha is, it's a halacha, the Gemara paskins a halacha, she doesn't lose that. She only loses the manu masayim. So the Ran therefore says, and this I believe is the correct explanation of this Gemara, tonight ksuba dami is only going on the Tosefes over here, where he adds on the money, and tonight ksuba, just like ksuba itself, right, we're going to discuss later on, the actual mano masayim, is that midoraisa or midorabbanan? Seemingly there's the doraisa, ksuba is midoraisa. There's Rishon Galil opines that it is doraisa. We'll have to see what that means. Rishon Galil says it opines doraisa in terms of being able to collect from karkos, mishubadim, and it depends where you write the ksuba. But I think even the Rabbanan agree in a certain respect that ksuba is doraisa. Because the Gemara says kamor absulos, right? By ones. Mafata, right? Kamor Absulas. Mor Absulas is referring to a ksuba. It's a reference in the Torah. The Mor Absulas, Sheezek Mor Absulas, Mor Absulas Kazeh. right? The amount for a ksuva, for a mora psulos, is 50 slime, which translates into 200 dinarim. So midaraisa, I think everyone admits that that a ksuba is 200 dinarim. Now, when I go and I promise someone money, right, that's val midaraisa. There's a halva, I'll pay, right? He can borrow money from me, I'll pay, or I can make someone a matana, I'll pay, and you can write it in a star also. It's better if you write it in a star. It's easier to collect. You have more strength of collecting if it's in a star. However, that's midoraisa. When I lend someone money, he owes me the money doraisa. I mean, from the Torah, there's no derabana. He owes me the money. Of course, he owes me doraisa. So to that is what he's giving her matana. He's promising her money, and now he's indebted to give her the money. The Gemara is medayik from the Mishnah, the precise reading of the Mishnah, the Hosif, that he's adding it on to the ksuba. So because ksuba is doraisa, the basic payment of 200 dinarim is a doraisa obligation. So therefore, the Hosif, he's adding, he's making one big lump sum of a ksuba of 1,200,000,000 dinarim. So it's a big lump sum of 200 dinarim. That's doraisa. All the other 6 things in the previous paragraph are all midrabanan. I explained mazonos is derabanan. These are all takanas midrabanan. It's very clear. Tonight based in. It doesn't say tonight ksuba. It says tonight based in. That based in will enforce these things. Midrabanan. They instituted a lot of these things. Ksuba is different, right? Yerusha midoraisa tells me there's no ksuba been different. Ksuba has been different. Is all takana derabanan. All these things, the mazonos that almana gets, I said also, is not the basic necessity. Mazonos that she gets is, right, her what makes her happy, the extra stuff that she needs, that she wants, not just her basic needs, bread and water. Mazonos also is only the Rabbana. I distinguish between Mazonos del Rice, which is guaranteed by the Torah, and the Tanai based on Mazonos, which is to give her what she wants, Sipul Kaichi, what she needs to keep her happy. So all of those things are midrabanan. And here we're talking about Raisa. That's Al Safa. And therefore, by Mocheres Ksuvasa, right, when she sells her Ksuva, right, of course she doesn't forfeit the Tanai based in the Kanas Derabanan because Zuzi Ansai, the Gemara says that she needed the money. She didn't really want to sell her Ksuva. So therefore she doesn't want to revoke the rights that she has from the Rabbanan that they instituted to help her out. Those 6 rights that she has. However, because it says lahosif, and when you write it tosefes ksuva, you're making it one big lump sum that you're chayiv to her. So therefore, when you sell your ksuva, you also have sold. Even if you sell your ksuva for 200 dinarim, you've sold $1,200,000,000. You've sold that rights to the ksuva because that's what's included in the ksuva. It's one big lump sum. Midol raisa, that's what you're chayiv the person. So here we're talking about a dindal raisa. We're not talking about, like Rashi has suggested, the Tanai based in, which are takanas midrabanan, not midoraisa. I think this helps clarify the Gemara. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.